Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Monday's Muse. I know I've been gone for a couple weeks. I've had lots of travel taking place, plus a holiday weekend, so I thought I'd give everyone a little break. But we are back and we are doing this, and I'm so excited. Miss Christine Alfred. Christine, hey.
Hey,
Hey.
girlfriend, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thanks for joining so promptly. I have a hard time sometimes getting the, the host on or my co-host on,
I
so
try to be
it worked
on
out
it.
great. Yes,
I
you
try
are.
to be
You're
on
on
it.
it. Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to give like first a little introduction to our co-host today. And I always like to give a little disclaimer. So I guess I'll start with that. The disclaimer is first that we are not doctors. We're not your doctor. Of course, take our advice at your own risk and consult with your medical professional if this is going to be a new lifestyle change or something drastic from what you're currently doing. So I like to throw that out there as a disclaimer first. But Christine is the proud owner of Six Pax Fitness, boutique studio located in Middletown that offers personal training, boot camp, and boxing classes. Six Packs was created on the idea that wherever you are in your journey, you're always welcome here, meaning we welcome everyone. And I love that. And I also, really cool story, the meaning behind the name. So she rescued a one-eyed puppy named Pax.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
and he was motivation for the name with the goal to give back to a rescue community. She's hosted multiple puppy yoga fundraisers where 100% of the proceeds get donated to Pit Bulls of St. Francis. And that is really awesome. I love to hear that, you've got some inspirational things that are partnering with your business and giving
Yeah.
back to the community and all of that. So that's really cool. I applaud you
I
for that.
wanted I wanted there to not only did I open a gym, I wanted there to be a purpose.
Right.
And how I saw it is if I had this platform that I was given, I wanted to use that platform to do good in the world. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So
Yay,
I like
thank
that you're doing
you.
that. I think a lot of people like to get behind companies that are, not just, I don't want to say, for lack of better words, just not just taking our money. Of course, you're providing a service, so you're getting
Right.
something out of a great workout,
Absolutely.
but it's
Yeah.
cool to go a little bit
Yeah.
further.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we wanted to do, a lot of volunteer work. So obviously we've done a lot with the rescue community and we try to do a lot of things during the holidays and all that good stuff. So we
Awesome.
want to give back. Yeah.
Yes. So tell our viewers a little bit more about yourself, other than, of course, what I've mentioned.
Okay. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Christine Alfred. Um I am not a Louisville native. I was actually born in the Marshall Islands. A lot of people, when I tell them that, they have no idea where that is. The Marshall Islands, it's an island out in the middle of nowhere in between Hawaii and Australia.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was born there. I moved to the States when I was 5 years old. I moved to Iowa. And then in 2012, I got a job here doing corporate wellness, and I have been here ever since. And I feel like Louisville is like this small city where everybody knows everybody. And with what I do for work, I feel like I've gotten to that point where I know a lot of people, even though I'm not from here. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
yes,
totally. It has that big, small town
it
feel.
does. And I
It's
and
crazy.
I love it,
Yeah.
honestly. I really do love it. So,
Yeah. Well, that is so cool. I have never heard of Marshall Island.
yes,
Sounds like
so
a
yeah, so the term bikini actually came from the Marshall Islands. So
oh,
bikini is an island in the Marshall Islands. It's actually an atoll in the Marshall Islands. So little
wow.
fun facts for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we know that you do the services that I mentioned that your studio offers. But what exactly do you do in relation to the studio? Do you teach classes and things too?
Girl, I do everything.
Awesome.
So in September, it will be the fourth year that I've been open. Um, we do personal training, which I am a personal trainer there too. We teach boxing and boot camp classes. And we are potentially getting into corporate wellness. So that's, we're a little bit of everything. And I think the good thing about us is with me creating it, I've kind of been able to, whatever direction we feel like is a good direction, we can change and adjust. And
Yeah.
yep. So, but mainly I do personal training and then teach boxing classes. So, and then I also do private mitt work. So if people want to get better with their boxing form, they can do individual sessions with me where I kind of teach them how to be a better boxer.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yes.
So what made you get into wellness? I know you said you got a job but like what sparked that interest?
Yeah. So, the, it's honestly kind of funny, but also a little bit embarrassing. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with Richard Simmons. Obsessed. So I have a sister that's 2 years older than me, and I would make her go to the library and rent Richard Simmons VCRs, because that's how old I am. Read those, and I would work out to them, and I was like 6 or 7. And then as I got older, I was very, athletic and into sports. And my favorite part of being in sports was the training for the sports, not necessarily the game in itself, which I was very competitive with that, but I loved training for something and pushing my body and constantly like getting faster and stronger. And then as I got older, I learned that I was an empath. And so I kind of wanted to, my calling is to help people. So I love fitness and I love that part. And I also just love helping people. And I wanted to combine the two. And so I went to school for exercise science, and the rest is history.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It's cool that you said that you're an empath, because you can obviously empathize with the people that
Right.
you're working
Yeah.
with.
Right. And
That makes
so,
such a huge difference.
yeah. And all of my clients have turned into my friends, because, I do think that with especially personal training, there is really a relationship to that. You're seeing that person multiple times a week. A lot of the times they see me like they see their family, and then they see me, and so I have such a special bond with all of my clients that, I love what I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's like so many, of course, like cliche quotes out there about
It
like
is. It's so cliche, but it's really true.
It is. It's absolutely true. I was actually messaging a friend of mine that I encouraged to go out and do what she loves, and I just found out that she did. Corporate is for some people. It's not for everyone. For
Yes.
me, I know it wasn't for me personally.
Right.
And I don't knock it, because everyone's different, and we all have our own callings and our own passions.
Right.
But that wasn't hers, and it just wasn't fueling her. It wasn't lighting her up. And to see her doing coaching and doing like what she loves, it's awesome, and it makes a huge difference.
And life is too short. Like
Absolutely.
the ADD in me is like a real thing. And so sitting at a desk all day long, I just can't even sit still. But two, like just being out and about and being active with people and helping people, find their strength in themselves, that's really rewarding for me. So I always say life's too short. Whatever your purpose is, do it. And if you don't know what it is, try new things to figure out what your purpose could be. So
absolutely. Yeah. And to even add on that, a lot of times, people are like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know whatever. I think the biggest clue is just looking at the things that you love to do. Because a lot of
100%,
it leads to your purpose, and it's
absolutely
it's not obvious,
right? And it could be a hobby, it could be something you've just like never even tried, but you're just so curious to try it, and then you do actually try it, and you realize it is your passion.
Absolutely. So yeah, well, very cool. Okay, so I have to ask you about boxing. I personally love boxing. I can't wait to come there.
You've done it?
I have.
Okay, so good to know.
Love it.
It's amazing.
It's so fun.
It really is.
So what made you get into boxing?
Well, one, when I was in high school, I really should have wrestled, because I have an older brother as well, and he was a football player and he was a wrestler, and I was the youngest sibling. So like I just constantly got beat up on. No, but my older brother, in all seriousness, he taught me how to be strong. And I started teaching boxing classes, but it was just cardio kickboxing, no heavy bags or anything like that. I started teaching those classes in college, and then I got an opportunity to manage 2 boxing gyms when I moved here. And then, so when I was getting ready to open Six Packs, I definitely wanted to incorporate that into our program. And the reason why I wanted to is not only do I want women to be strong, I also want women to learn how to defend themselves. And heaven forbid anything happened, out in public, but unfortunately those things do happen. And when those things happen, I want to help women carry themselves with confidence, because if you're walking down a street and you carry yourself with confidence, you're less likely to get attacked. And then heaven forbid that do happen, I want to help women know what to do in those situations. So, part of it's strength, but also part of it is I want women to learn how to defend themselves. I think that's so important. But yeah.
Yes. Oh gosh, there's so much in that.
Yeah, and I do think boxing is really genuinely a life skill. So I think all women should know the basics of boxing and or self-defense. I think it's so important, especially right now. So
yes, and that's crazy because I've never even thought about it that way. Like you hear, I did taekwondo, however you say it, like when I was way younger, and some of the things that you're mentioning, it's definitely an overlap. But I've never even thought about, someone that takes boxing class. I mean, you're obviously going to learn how to box.
Yeah, and and it's one of those things where if that situation were to happen, girl, you better be putting up a damn good fight, and I'm going to show you how. Good luck to anybody who tries to do that to me, because I'm not going to be going down easily.
Absolutely not. Don't mess with her.
Don't mess with me, okay?
Yeah. And so I saw a post that you posted of you and your like boxing mentor, boxing legend. What impact has he had on you in this sport, or did he kind of?
Oh my gosh! So Hector Criollo, I call him the man, the myth, the legend. This man is 80 years old. I take that back. He's 80 years young. He's 80 years young, and he actually came into Six Packs wanting to know if anyone was wanting to get trained. He back in the 60s was a 5-time world champion in boxing.
Wow.
Yes, he looked like Bruno Mars too. He was very, very handsome. But so I started training with him. I've trained with other people before because I'm always striving to get better too. So even though I teach boxing, I have people teach me. But yeah, I started working with him about 2.5 years ago, and he has just been such a great mentor because obviously he knows the game. He knows the sport. After he got done with boxing, he's coached so many fighters, and he worked for the World Boxing Association. But he's helped me a lot, and he wants so badly for me to fight. He calls me the Thunder of Louisville and the champion of the world. And he's like really pushing it. And I'm like, dude, I'm 33 years old and I'm a mom. I'm worried about my face, brain injuries. But I have that in the back of my head, like maybe you could do this. So I've thought about maybe one day training and getting into an amateur fight and see how I do.
Oh my God.
So my mom is not a fan, so I might just keep that from her if that ever does happen. So
yeah, of course she's worried about you.
Yeah. That might be a secret.
Right. And okay, so another thing that I've seen you mention is like from time to time about being an athlete. And I really personally like that. And to me, that term is empowering. Of course, I played sports like in high school. I didn't play anything in college. Sure. But I think it's just cool because it emphasizes that it's more than just a workout, that beyond just fitness for endurance and other benefits of your body and your mind and your strongest, like sexiest, like best self. So what does that mean? What does an athlete mean to you, especially for a woman who maybe she didn't play any sports, or maybe she was a previous college athlete or something?
And to me, you don't have to be an Olympic gold medalist to be an athlete. Now, I think that term is different for everybody, but for me, if you're striving to be stronger, faster, mentally strong, just all around wellness, and you're just striving every day to get better and better and better, whatever that may be, because we all have different goals. To me, you're an athlete. You could be 50, 60, 70, and if you have that mindset of just constantly striving for the best self for you, girl, you're an athlete.
Yes.
And I love that. So to me, it's not like you didn't have to play D1 basketball or, you know, be a professional athlete to be an athlete. I see women day in and day out, and those chicks, they are athletes.
Yes. Okay. So on that same note, kind of, have you come across any like misconceptions about boxing, especially for women that do boxing?
Yeah, 100%. So, the biggest thing when people message or call and they're interested in boxing is the main thing that women say is, oh, I've never boxed, so I don't know if I can do it. Well, we all started boxing for the first time at some point in our lives. We all start somewhere and that's with any type of workout. So I always tell them, listen, don't expect to come in and kill it. Boxing is very much so a skill. But you got to start somewhere. And we're not a boxing gym that is training anyone to fight. And again, what you said earlier, our motto is wherever you are in your fitness journey, you are always welcome here. So I don't care if, you know, you've never boxed a day in your life or you think that you're going to be terrible at it. We want you to come in and we want you to do your best. And that's all we ask of you. So, just because you've never boxed doesn't mean you're gonna suck. I have she had 2 kids, Amanda Millie. I'm giving her a little shout out. I don't know if she's watching this, but she came in after her second child and she wasn't in a consistent workout routine, never boxed before, started boxing. She's been a member for I think 2.5, 3 years. Became amazing at it to the point where now she just recently became a boxing instructor and now she teaches people how to box. And this woman came in a few years ago, knew nothing about boxing, and now she's one of the best female boxers that I've ever seen. So she's just a perfect example and a true testament of just because you've never tried something, don't automatically assume that you're going to suck at it. Maybe have the assumption that you're going to rock it out. So
yeah, you can't discredit yourself before you even try. I mean, you have to give it a try.
Exactly. And you know what? If you suck the first time, the 10th time, maybe the 11th time, it's finally going to click and you're going to get it. So I always tell people, don't think too much about your first workout. I want you to just have fun and I want you to just move. And that's all I ask of you. And every single day, if you keep doing it and you stay consistent, you'll get better, you'll get stronger, you'll get faster, you'll punch harder, you'll kick harder, and then you'll just slowly turn into a badass.
Yes. Okay. So, kind of in that same vein. Okay. I love seeing your posts, how like unapologetic you are, just beautiful yourself. Of course, no one is perfect. Obviously. For sure. Like I always like to say, and I enjoy seeing some of the posts that you share. Like, you know, Instagram is a highlight reel. You know, people get so caught up and they compare, and they don't get it. Don't let me get me started on these apps like Facetune.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I saw that just the other day that there are like videos where you can like completely, like, I don't even know what the app is, but I'm like, how the heck do they do that? Where their body doesn't even look the same in a video. You can Photoshop a video. I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's crazy. And so please, to people that watch this, maybe you'll hear this in the future as a podcast, whatever. Don't compare yourself to people on the internet.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this stuff is not real.
Right. And I always tell people, like, the Kardashians don't even look like the Kardashians. So don't even worry about it.
Right, right.
Like, you don't need to compare yourself to them because they don't even look like them.
No, no. So I mean, it's nuts. But what would you say for someone who is struggling with insecurity or maybe low self-esteem? Because I also personally, just to kind of add, I believe that working out is beyond, of course, just the physical. Like it helps transform your mind, and once you
Absolutely.
start to feel stronger and you're heading towards some type of goal, of, even if it's just bettering yourself as a
Right.
person,
Right.
it just makes you feel better. You feel so much
Absolutely.
better. But
Yeah.
what would you say for someone? I had to ask this because of the boxing and
Yeah.
like the power of being a strong woman.
Yeah. Right. And, you know, to me, health is it's overall. It's not
Yes.
just you work out 5 days a week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of other things. So the biggest recommendation that I have for people when they're struggling with their confidence is to stop following accounts that trigger your
Mm,
insecurities. So, for me, if I see someone's Instagram or Facebook and everything is perfect, they look perfect, their life seems perfect, because I try to talk about good things, but I also try to be very, very honest with things that I've struggled with. I've talked publicly about having a miscarriage, or if I struggle with anxiety. I try to be vulnerable about those things because
mm,
I know that so many other people struggle with that. And just constantly seeing someone's highlight reel, it's not realistic. And again, we have to constantly remind ourselves that everything we see on Instagram, it's not always real. And so if there are certain accounts that do trigger that feeling, unfollow them and
yeah.
follow people who inspire you and they motivate you and they make you feel like you're seen and you're heard and you are beautiful and you are worthy. And if it's somebody that you're friends with and you don't want to unfollow them because it would hurt their feelings, mute, 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 mute. So they don't even know that. But it's the things that we see throughout our day, because a lot of people, when they wake up and they go to sleep, the first thing that they look at is social media. And you have to put in the consistent work that you're constantly filling your brain with things that are going to motivate you to be better and to crush your day instead of the exact opposite. So,
Yeah, that is
yeah.
great advice.
Yeah.
That's true. I always
And
tell
I have to work on it consistently, because there are some times where we're human and there are moments where we do feel bad and we feel insecure, or, we're comparing our body or our life to someone else's. And you have to take a step back
yes,
and give yourself some grace, and
yes,
also
absolutely.
slowly cut the things out that are negative in your life that are going to trigger that feeling in you.
Yes, that makes me think about a previous interview I did with, and she's actually our consultant friend of mine named Lindy, and we talked about having self-compassion, and
Yes.
I mean, you have to,
Yes.
and you extend grace and compassion to other people, but you have to extend that same,
Yeah,
maybe if not more, to yourself, because first of all, you can't pour from an
absolutely.
empty cup, and I don't know, we can't be so hard on ourselves.
Yeah. And
But
that's something that I really have and continually have to work on is I'm very hard on myself. I have very, very high expectations of myself. And so if I mess up, sometimes I'm like, oh, it feels so detrimental. And I'm like, okay, take a step back. You are a human being and it
right,
is okay. Like, you
right,
can't be perfect.
right.
You are going to make mistakes over and over and over and over again. And it's good. It's all good.
Yeah,
So
it's what you do after those mistakes. I
absolutely,
totally agree.
absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, you just have to give yourself some grace. And at the end of the day, if you try your best, that's it. That's all you can do.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's all you can, right.
So
That's all you can.
yeah,
So before we end, a couple more things. What would you say that it means to you to be strong like a woman? Since that's
I
our
love that question.
thing.
Um, that is such a not black and white answer. Some things that come to my mind when I think of a strong woman is I think of a woman who is unapologetically herself.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in her truth, and
Mm-hmm.
she owns her truth regardless if people agree with it or disagree with it, because at the end of the day, not everybody's going to like us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not humanly possible. But as long as we are living our truth and are, obviously being a good person, but you got to love yourself first and be unapologetically who you are. So that's the biggest thing that comes to my mind. And I love, because I'm confident with myself, I love when I see people who are my friends or acquaintances, and I see women who are crushing it, whether it be in the gym or with their business or with their personal life. Like, a confident woman wants to see another woman
Yes.
win.
Yes.
Like, there's room for all of us to kill it. And I hope that for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree. That is such a good answer. I know that's like such kind of a hard question to answer
it
because
is,
it could go so many
such,
ways.
right.
But yeah,
right,
that's totally true. And there's nothing more empowering, I think, than when you are yourself unapologetically. Because I know another one of those cliche quotes, like the world doesn't need another copy of someone else, but it's really true.
Right.
You were created to be the person that you are for a reason, and what you bring to the table, no one else can bring.
Well, and there's a hard thing with that too, because sometimes when you show up as a very confident, assertive, strong woman, sometimes people don't always respond to that well.
No.
Especially if it's a female. Because if you're a man, you're assertive. If you're a female and you're, to the point and direct, you can be bossy. Which now if someone tells me I'm bossy, I'm like, thank you so much. I take that as a compliment. I appreciate that. I know what I want, and I, vocalize that. But a lot of people can be uncomfortable with it, but that's their problem.
Absolutely.
It's not your problem. So
yes. Oh, so good. So for someone that maybe has never taken boxing, maybe they're too nervous, but they want to come to Six Pack Fitness, is there like some type of class you would recommend for them to start with, or
any class?
Okay.
Any class. And the reason for that is it's kind of like what we talked about earlier. Our motto is wherever you are in your fitness journey, you are always welcome here. So the second you walk into that door, it is myself and the other trainers that are in there. It is our mission to make you feel special, make you feel welcome. I know some gyms have a negative stereotype that they can, especially boutique gyms, that they can be cliquey, or like I have to dress a certain way, or have to be this certain size, or have to look a certain way. We are not the gym. We are not that gym. Our members are absolutely amazing. And our members, especially like our OG members, they've taken on that role. When they see someone new and they look intimidated or scared, they come in to help too. Because sometimes members are more helpful than the trainers. And they feel more at ease when a member is like, hey girl, you got this. Like, keep punching, keep kicking. And so we accept anyone. Whether size, ability level. If you have an injury, we'll work around it. We want everyone to feel welcome. And then most importantly, we want everyone who walks into our door to feel safe. So, and when we say we welcome anybody, we mean that.
That's awesome. Well, great. I look forward to coming by. And
please
very
do.
Last question. Yes, very soon. I'm going to be looking up the schedule very soon. I always like to end with a fun fact about yourself. So what is your fun fact?
Okay. Can I have two?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one, I guess, is not really about me. It's my father. My father, he is Marshallese, or was Marshallese. He passed away, but he was in the Micronesian Olympics for free diving, so he could dive 100 feet into the ocean without any equipment, and he was a spearfisher. Yes. So as a profession, he was a deep sea diver, and he was a total badass of the sea, and he actually got bit by a shark while on a job, and then he went back and he killed it. But he was very, I know, I don't, yes, but so I think that's like where like the inner like badass and savageness comes
Yeah.
from in me.
Right.
I would like to think. Uh, but
Yes.
but
Wow.
and the other thing is I am very good with people. Obviously, I have a very big and vibrant personality, and I can talk to anybody and everybody, but actually, deep down, I am such a big introvert and homebody, and I would much rather be at home and kind of be alone. I have to have me time to get
Mhm.
energy, to have
Yeah.
that much energy for
Mhm.
my clients. So I'm actually a huge introvert. Most people just assume that I'm extrovert
Yeah.
because I can turn it on,
Yeah.
but when I get home, I'm like, whew, like I need to,
Yeah. Decompress.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So yeah, that would
Wow.
be the other one.
Well, those are awesome. I mean, I don't know if anybody can top that.
I would like to see him try. Like I said, I'm competitive, so good luck.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Christine.
Thank
I'm
you
going to
so much,
have,
Victoria.
you're very
This was an
welcome.
awesome chat.
Yes. And I'm going to have, of course, the replay available. And if you have any questions for Christine, feel free to reach out. I'm going to tag all of her information and her studio info in the box, in the
Yeah.
description
And
box of this video.
so will this replay, like, will I be able to post it on like Facebook and things like that?
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Well, thank you so
Victoria,
much.
this is awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Y'all have a great day. See y'all next
Bye,
week.
everybody.
Bye.